Every single one of us has found ourselves in a crisis at one time or another, be it personally or professionally. So today I want to actually lay out some of the key pieces that I've learned over the years that we've been applying for a very, very long time. And in that, help you not just survive through a crisis, but actually thrive everywhere that you are finding yourself in a crisis. Every single opportunity that you have happens in a crisis. Your opportunities or the opportunities of others come in crisis. And here's why. Because every time someone's in a crisis, that's an opportunity for somebody to come in and actually help. So your clients, your customers, your friends, your family, whoever's in crisis, you actually have an opportunity. If they're allowing you in, and if they want your help, that's an opportunity for you to actually step in and help them get out of that crisis with a particular knowledge, with a particular wisdom, with a particular method that you have, information that you have, advice that you have, a product or a service that you have, if you're a company, to be able to actually come and help somebody move out of that crisis and get to a place where they're more secure. Same thing on the other side, that if you are in a crisis, there are people in your life, there's people in your community, there's people in this world that can actually help you out of that crisis because they have what you need to be able to move out of that crisis and not be taken out by it. So that's an opportunity for them. So everywhere that there is crisis, there is actually opportunity to serve. So I want to dig into that today. And I'm going to give you a 5-part framework that's going to help you understand not only what to do in a crisis, but also how to thrive in that crisis so that you and everyone that you're serving can thrive as well. So step number 1, when you find yourself in crisis, or when you know that a crisis is coming down the pipeline, as most of us have experienced that in very big ways over the last 4 or 5 years, what you want to do is you want to, first of all, name that crisis. You want to name it for yourself. And what that does is that helps you take responsibility for what I'm about to show you. Everywhere that you allow somebody else or something else to name the crisis, now it's in control of you. They're in control of you. They're telling you what the crisis is. But the first key in thriving through any crisis is you have to name it, because then it becomes personal for you. Then you know exactly how it's going to affect your life and the life of your company, the life of your family, your community, your country. You want to name it so that you can actually take authority over it and do what I'm about to teach you. Okay, so step number 1, name the crisis. Step number 2 is you need to acknowledge everywhere that crisis is going to make you vulnerable. So where are you at risk? You want to just take a look at that crisis that you've already named, and you want to start to make a list. And on that list, just answer this question: where am I vulnerable? Where are we vulnerable? And here's the key. As you've heard me talk about in other videos, you are vulnerable everywhere that you fulfilling your purpose is at risk. You're vulnerable everywhere that you're not going to be able to fulfill your purpose, because that's the place that you're supposed to be sitting in. That's the place where you're meant to be. So whatever is going to stop you from being able to be in your sweet spot, in your comfort zone, in that place where you know that you are being called to serve, to help others, that's where you're vulnerable. So make that list. Where am I vulnerable? Where are we vulnerable? Once you understand that, then the next phase is to really understand, well, what are you responsible for? And if you've, again, watched any of the other videos that we've done, the key place that you're responsible is there is one need that you are here to meet in the lives of those that you serve every single day. And the hard part, the challenge, is really figuring out, okay, well, what is that one need? So here's the truth. You serve one need that shows up in many different ways. You serve one need that shows up in many different ways. So the key is to answer this question. What need do you recognize in others? And you want to get that down to a word. If you need some help with that, go back and watch another video. You can also check out the servant community at servant.tools, where we have all of our frameworks that'll help you dig into this and find the answers, your specific answers to everything that I'm teaching you today. So as you step in to take responsibility to answer that one need that you are here to meet as an individual, as a family, as a company, as a community, and as a country, you are able to actually take responsibility and know what your responsibility is and what somebody else's responsibility is. So here's how that works. Imagine yourself, you're in a crisis, whatever that is. You've done the assessment, you've named it, you understand where you're vulnerable in that. Take a look at those vulnerabilities and go, what am I actually responsible for? If I'm here to meet this specific need, so I'm here to meet the need for purpose in your life. We here at Servant Development are here to meet your need for transformation. Obviously, we need transformation in order to be able to serve, because there's things that we're doing that aren't helping us serve, and crisis explodes that. Basically, when you get into a crisis, everything just gets heightened. Everything gets, you're on edge. You're in this moment of chaos. So as you take a look at and get that simplicity and that focus of, if I'm here or we're here to meet this specific need, what are we responsible to do? Because what happens is, a lot of us in this particular phase, we understand where we're vulnerable, and then we start to streamline. We start to get rid of stuff. Imagine you're on a ship and it's sinking. You start to get rid of stuff to slow down that sinking. But maybe you're going to get rid of the stuff that you actually need to keep the ship afloat. Well, you don't know that if you have no idea, well, first of all, where are we vulnerable? There's a gaping hole in the side of the ship. Where are we vulnerable? Next, well, what need do we actually need to meet, which is what's going to keep that ship afloat? So as you understand the need, then you can actually go, we need this stuff, but we don't need this stuff, in order to make sure that we keep answering that need the way that we know, so that we can continue to serve the people that need our help most during this crisis. If you get rid of those things, not only do you put yourself at risk, but you put everyone else that you're here to serve at risk, because you can't actually answer the need in the way that they need it. Make sense? So what are you responsible for? Then take a look at, that is a family, or that is a company, a country, and a community. There are many people involved in those scenarios. So you may be responsible as a company for a certain thing, but you personally, you can answer that question and go, this is my piece. This is what I'm here to do. And this is why I'm here to do it. And so this I need to take responsibility for. Tom or Jane or Bob or Joe, they have their responsibilities within that actually help you as a company be able to meet your responsibility as a whole. So that's how knowing the purpose and knowing why each person on your team and each person in your company is vital, especially in times of crisis. Because as you all know what each other is responsible for, not just what you're supposed to do, but why you're supposed to do it, which is exactly what your purpose shares and delineates. And again, you need some help in understanding why you're here, why each of you are here on your team, why you're here as a company. Please check us out, reach out to us. That's what we're here for, to help transform you so that you can fulfill your purpose and ultimately serve everyone and everywhere that you're being called to serve. In that, as you understand what each person's responsibility is, what the responsibility is of you, your family, your country, your community, your company, you're able to then move into the third phase, which is, well, where do we have opportunity? Opportunities, again, happen everywhere that you are standing in crisis, or those that you're serving are standing in crisis. And there's going to be things as you go through this crisis. I want you to picture a wheel, a clock. Once the crisis starts, so say it's at 12 o'clock, once the crisis starts, then it just has a life of its own. It just keeps going around the clock. So the very first thing you need to do at 12 o'clock is name it. Now you know what you're dealing with and how it's going to personally affect you as a person or as a team, as a family, community, country. Then, as I shared, you assess, as you go around that clock, you assess, where are we vulnerable? And then you move into, where are we responsible, or what am I responsible for? And then as you move around that clock, you get to this place, as the crisis continues to go, eventually the opportunities present themselves. You may not see them in the beginning, but they do present themselves. If you've assessed where you're vulnerable, you know what your responsibility is, then as the opportunity comes, you won't miss it. And if you notice on the clock, your vulnerabilities and your opportunities are opposite each other, because everywhere you're vulnerable is an opportunity, but you can't always see that off the top. But if you assess your vulnerability, then when that opportunity comes that's directly related to that vulnerability, you're going to be able to see it and it won't fly by you. Because if you miss your opportunities in a crisis, that's where you become severely at risk of becoming a casualty. And when I say that, I mean, some crisis takes us out physically and ends our life, ends the life of our company. Families disperse, they get torn apart, communities, never recover, countries never recover, simply because they had no idea where they were vulnerable and were looking out for where that opportunity is on the flip side of it. So as you understand what opportunities are coming out, and an opportunity, again, if you've never heard me say this, an opportunity is everywhere that you are both needed and wanted. You're going to see as you go through crisis, there's places where people need you, but they don't want you. They want you, but they don't need you. Those are distractions, and distractions will kill you. They will take you out in a crisis. They will deplete your resources so quickly, and you won't be able to recover. So the key is understanding, well, where are we needed and where are we wanted? And that goes right back to what I said about you are here to meet one need that shows up in many different ways. As you understand the need that you recognize in others and you answer that in one word, then you're able to see, well, where is that need needed in this particular case, in this particular crisis? You can go there. Now you just need to assess, do people actually want your help? And here's the key. Maybe two things. Maybe there's people that never needed or wanted your help before, but in crisis, they need and want your help. That's a huge blessing for both sides. Secondly, there may be ways that you've always answered that need that people have wanted, but now they don't want it anymore that way. So you have to assess and go, how not only do we need to answer this need in this crisis, but how do they actually want our help? That may shift during a crisis. And again, that's a huge blessing, because maybe there's ways that you're doing it that you don't need to do it anymore, that you can come up with a different and better solution that's going to actually help you effectively meet that need in that crisis and beyond the crisis. Okay, so now we're around the clock. Now, the next phase as you move and embrace your opportunities is to move into this place where you can actually secure your position and secure the positions within the crisis of all those that you're serving. And all you do there is just assess, where are we still vulnerable? Where are we no longer vulnerable because we've answered the need in those areas? And where are we now still vulnerable? And that brings her right back around that clock. And you keep going around that clock as many times as you need to until that crisis is averted. And again, the crisis has its own pace. It's just, once it starts, it's just going to go at its own pace. So the more times you can go around that clock and answer that need at deeper and deeper levels, or in different ways that you never assumed or knew that you could before, those open up new pathways, new opportunities in deeper and deeper ways for you to make bigger and bigger impact where you're being called to serve. So those are the 5 key things. First, you want to name the crisis. Then you want to figure out, well, where are we vulnerable? Where am I vulnerable in this? And that's all going to be centered around you fulfilling your purpose or not. You actually answering the need that you're here to meet or not. Then, what am I responsible for? What are we responsible for? Well, you're responsible to fulfill your purpose and answer that need that you're promising that you can answer as you fulfill your purpose in the lives of those that you're serving. Next, where are our opportunities, or where are my opportunities to do that? Those will present themselves as they come. And again, here's one of the key things to understand in this. Opportunities are given, they're not made. Opportunities are given, they're not made. Opportunities are given to us. We don't make the opportunities. We just step into those opportunities as they present themselves. Remember that. That's going to save you a lot of heartache and help you thrive through any crisis that you find. And that takes patience, because it's really hard to have patience during a crisis. But I promise you, the opportunities will present themselves as you need to step into them. Then, have we actually secured our position? Am I more secure now than I was before? And that's simply an assessment of, am I vulnerable there still or not? And if I am, then I go deeper and solve that vulnerability by taking more responsibility, stepping into the opportunities that come to secure my position. It's really that simple. That is what we call the crisis code. That is the crisis code. You can use that code for any crisis that you find yourself in, personal or professional. All right. If you need some help, please reach out to us, servant.tools. Love to chat with you about it. If you're in crisis right now, reach out. We can help you. All right. We'll see you in the next one.